What's up everyone, Jacob here. Let's get to the Godzilla Day News Roundup. Just keep in mind that a lot of this information is still dripping out from Japan and it's all having to be translated, so we might have missed some things, but if so, we'll make sure and follow up this week. And I'm not using a script or anything here, so bear with me. Now, most of this information is coming from Kaiju News Outlet, make sure to go give him a follow. Overall, it's not as much content as there's been in years past, but still, it's worth taking a look at, so let's get right into it. Anguirus returns, well, sorta, with this new SH Monster Arts figure. This thing's based on the 1972 version of the monster from Godzilla vs. Gigan. It looks like it seems to have a lot of points of articulation, so should be able to pose this thing in many different ways. I'm a pretty big Anguirus fan, so I like this figure. What do you guys think? Staying in the figure lane here, we have a new collectible coming out based on one of Godzilla's most famous scenes of all time. Can you guess it? Dancing Godzilla returns with this Bandai figure, where you can prop Godzilla up on this stand and make it look like he's doing his famous victory dance from the old 1965 classic. For you -1 Godzilla fans, there's also a new figure coming out on him as well. Moving away from the figures, we have an upcoming collaboration between Godzilla and one of my favorite franchises as a kid, Digimon. Now this appears to be one of those little handheld device games that kinda reminds me of those grow your pet things we had back in the late 90s, early thousands. If you know, you know. So this is not something I'm really very familiar with at all, but the little trailer they released for it was fun, and honestly, I like these two worlds combining. I think it's a match made in heaven. There was also another upcoming collaboration announced with Kaiju number 8. Now this is only a merchandise collaboration, but fans of both series will probably love these. There's also a new Godzilla card game that's been announced that will focus on epic battles across the franchise's history. Not really sure how the game's gonna work just yet, but more info will come out this upcoming year. And now since this is the 70th anniversary of the original Godzilla movie, I gotta bring up this upcoming waxwork vinyl of the iconic original Gojira soundtrack created by Akira Ifukube. The artwork alone on this vinyl is sick nasty, and if I had a vinyl player, I'd definitely pick this thing up. It looks really cool and it probably sounds even better. Now speaking of the original Gojira, I'm gonna give you guys a little update on my origin video that I'm making. The video's pretty much almost done, but with all the news coming out and election day here in the States approaching, it's probably not gonna actually come out until later this week. So I hope you guys don't mind that I missed the 70th anniversary just by a little bit. And I want it to be as good as I can possibly make it given the circumstances. And I gotta thank my buddy Nate from Otaku America for giving me the idea to make this video. And if you want to help him, he's actually running a 10% off sale on his website right now until November 10th. So if you want to go buy some cool Godzilla collectible merch, Otaku America is a good place to go. And now, depending on who you are, these next updates are either going to excite you or make you upset. And seems to be how most things go these days. This year's Godzilla Fest short film, along with all previously released shorts, will be combined into one larger movie or set and will be available for purchase. For the ripe old price of $40, yikes. Now if this thing comes out with a lot of behind the scenes stuff and has some collector's item vibe to it, I'm okay with it, I guess. But knowing that they took all of these shorts off the internet so they could sell it for this kinda slightly extreme cost, leaves a sour taste in my mouth. And ultimately we don't even have an hour's worth of content, so that's a heavy asking price, I feel like. Still though, this is a way to support the Godzilla ways of old, you know, the suitmation and all that, so it's your call there. Make sure to check out Alistair's breakdown on this short that should be out pretty soon. So there's that, kind of a slightly expensive collector's edition of all these short films being made, but it pales in comparison to this next news drop. So there's going to be a new 4K remastered set of Godzilla films. That sounds pretty exciting, except it's gonna go for $432. Now okay, all 30-some Godzilla movies combined, and maybe you could consider this a fair value, I guess. But it's not for all the Godzilla movies ever made, it's only for 6 films as far as we are aware. So some good Godzilla movies there, but I don't know why it's not the entire set. Now apparently there's going to be a version that gives you some special clock as a collectible, as well as many other collector's items included throughout the normal purchase. But right now I'd say maybe wait till you hear more about the set before looking to purchase, as this is kind of a mighty price to ask for and will probably only be something for super collectors out there. And alright everyone, I know we probably missed some small releases, but I hope that was most of the larger ones. That pretty much sums them up as far as we could find. Like I said earlier, a lot of this information is still dripping out slowly from Japan and having to be translated, so bear with us that we might have missed some cool things, but we're pretty sure that we got the big stuff in this little news update for you guys. So stay tuned to the channel for more Godzilla videos, everyone. This has been Jacob, and I will see you in the next one.